That's the lowest it goes, but it's not really very low, so. That's probably too dark, isn't it?
I think it's good.
It's okay?
Yeah.
All right, cool.
So before I get to the main point of this presentation, I would like to share some facts with you. We are animals, we are primates, and we share 98.8% of our DNA with chimpanzees, who are genetically designed to be frugivores. We are genetically designed to be frugivores. Our bodies thrive on whole foods such as nuts, seeds, peas, legumes, oats, grains, rice, beans, bread, fruits, and vegetables. Plants yield 10 times more protein per acre than beef. There are no nutrients in animal protein that are superior to plant-based protein. The amount of animal products that are necessary in a human being's diet in order for that human being to survive and be healthy is precisely zero. Exploiting and murdering animals is completely unnecessary. Cultural hegemony is the domination of a culturally diverse society by the ruling class who manipulate the culture of that society, the beliefs, explanations, perceptions, values, and morals, so that their imposed ruling class worldview becomes the accepted cultural norm, the universally valid dominant ideology which justifies the social, political, and economic status quo as natural and inevitable, perpetual and beneficial for everyone, rather than as artificial social constructs that benefit only the ruling class. Anthropod denial is a blindness to the human-like characteristics of other animals, or a blindness to the animal-like characteristics of ourselves. Is there such a thing as a humane Holocaust? How about humane rape, humane child molestation? Actually, what is your definition of a Holocaust? Is it a massacre of human beings, or is it a massacre of innocent beings? In Spain, the human beings put exhausted bulls in arenas with trained killers. The trained killers torment the bulls, and then eventually murder the bulls. Every year, they set a bull on fire. Every 5 years in India, Hindus massacre hundreds of thousands of innocent, non-human animals as a sacrifice to a god. In the United States and in the UK, what is considered as the most humane method of slaughter is the gas chamber. As piglets, a few weeks after they're born, their tails are cut off, their testicles are ripped out, and their teeth are clipped. And then they are put in gestation crates where they spend the majority of their lives. And out of frustration and boredom, they often become clinically insane. And then they are transported to the slaughterhouse where they often get put in. They're crammed together in these cages, and they're lowered into a gas chamber where the carbon monoxide fills and burns their lungs. The pigs spend about 30 seconds thrashing violently and screaming in agony before dying. They often thrash around so much that their hooves snap off of their legs. Again, this is what is considered humane. In China, the human beings they mutilate and murder and eat dogs and cats. Here in the United States, cows are artificially impregnated, and after their babies are born, their babies are taken from them. The separation traumatizes both the mother and the child, and the mother spends weeks bellowing. And we're currently returning to the spot where her baby was taken and looking in the direction where she last saw her baby. In the wild, they live for up to 20 years, but in the dairy industry, they live for only about 5 years because all of their babies are taken from them, and they eventually can't take it anymore, and they collapse from exhaustion, at which point they're taken to a slaughterhouse. In the egg industry, caged chickens live in cages where they can barely spread their wings. And free-range chickens live in buildings that house up to 16,000 chickens. Since these chickens are genetically modified to lay more eggs quicker, to lay more eggs and to get fatter quicker, in the wild, they lay up to 12 to 13 eggs per year, but after being genetically modified, they lay about 200 eggs per year. Laying this amount of eggs results in a huge loss of calcium, and the skeletons of the chickens become osteoporotic, and they eventually, their bones eventually break throughout their lives. And since they're genetically modified to get fatter quicker, they can't handle their own weight, so they often collapse, and they often can't reach food or water, and sometimes they end up starving to death. All of these animals get murdered. The baby cow gets hit in the head with blunt force trauma, and then his or her throat is slit. The mothers and the fathers, all of the babies are killed. The mother and the pigs and the lambs, they get a bolt gun. They get shot in the head with a bolt gun, and then their throats are slit. And the bolt gun is excessively ineffective, so oftentimes these innocent creatures are fully conscious while their throats are being slit. And the baby chicks, the males, they're seen as waste products to the industry, as completely useless. So they're all thrown into an industrial macerator. Or they are suffocated, or they are gassed to death. All across the world, animals are being used for their fur. In China, animals often get their skin ripped off of their bodies while they are still fully conscious. Here in the United States, animals get anally electrocuted to death in order to preserve the fur, or they get their necks broken. And the craziest part about all of this is that there's fur that is made completely from synthesized products. Vegan fur, vegan leather, vegan meat, vegan pizza, vegan bacon, vegan chicken, vegan eggs, vegan patties, vegan milks, vegan cheese, vegan sour creams, vegan mayonnaise, vegan butter, and vegan ice cream. To conclude this presentation, I would like to share hold on, I left the quotes in my backpack. To conclude this presentation, I would like to share 2 quotes from a Warsaw ghetto survivor who is currently an animal liberation activist. The first quote is, "In the midst of our high-tech, ostentatious, hedonistic lifestyle, among the dazzling monuments to history, art, religion, and commerce, there are the black boxes. These are the biomedical research laboratories, factory farms, and slaughterhouses, faceless compounds where society conducts its dirty business of abusing and killing innocent feeling beings. These are our Dauschaus, our Buchenwalds, our Birkenaus. Like the good German burgers, we have a fair idea of what goes on there, but we don't want any reality checks." Unfortunately, my phone's memory ran out before it could record the rest of the presentation. I was on the last slide, so I'll share the second quote now. The second quote was, "Never again is not about what others shouldn't do to us. It's about what we shouldn't do to others." Never again means that we must never again perpetuate mass atrocities against other living beings, that we must never again raise animals for food, clothing, or any other form of exploitation.